Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. I hope you're doing well. Had a good Monday. Let's talk about Martin Bakole because he's the man of the moment. Knocks out Jared Anderson, floors him 3 times. Previously undefeated, of course. Anderson, only 24 years of age, so he's younger than Bakole. Real man against boy, wasn't it? Really, that fight. But let's talk about who Bakole can fight next, because the world has seemingly opened up for him, or has it? Is he still going to be considered high risk, low reward? You just don't know, do you? Because immediately afterwards, Michael Hunter got in the ring. He's the only man to defeat Bakole. Bakole said, I had a bad injury. You beat an injured man, maybe true, but that was the first fight that Hunter had at heavyweight, moving up from cruiserweight. And he did stop Bakole in the 10th and final round. So Bakole, he said, yeah, let's do it again. Hunter said, yeah, no problem. But then Bakole said that Hunter told him, well, I'm not ready yet. I'll have to get ready. Okay. I mean, it's been kind of depressing how Hunter's career stalled after he left Matchroom. And he sign for like Probellum or someone, or I can't remember. He signed some contract and it didn't work out. Then he was fighting on Triller and all this rubbish. His career just sort of imploded, which was a great shame because the guy's got a lot of talent. And so I suppose he is the one that's going to, in a sense, he needs Bakole more than Bakole needs him, even though Bakole wants to sort of avenge the defeat, Other options, I mean, I think it was Billy Nelson who trains and I think manages Bakole, certainly trains him. He said, we want the winner of Fury versus Usyk. High risk, low reward. I mean, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't say no to either of those fights, but I think the winner of the rematch will be Usyk, but it's not beyond the realms of possibility that Fury can beat Usyk. A man that size, if he's well trained, if he's ready, if he's mentally prepared and physically prepared, he can pull it off, no question. Other options, the winner of Dubois versus AJ. In a sense, that fight kind of intrigues me more. And certainly I think if Bakole was to beat the winner of Dubois and AJ, he would put himself absolutely in the firing line for the winner of Usyk versus Fury, because a lot of people are going to say, well, okay, you beat Jared Anderson, that's a very good win, but Anderson was never all that, or he was a bit green, a bit wet behind the ears. A lot of people, I made a video talking about Anderson, saying how some people are saying, oh, he was never any good. Well, that's nonsense, because he is a talented young heavyweight. The key word there is young. He's 24. And his first defeat, it was a rude awakening. But he can come back if he wants to. Terrific performance by Bakole, no question about it. But if he beats the winner of AJ and Dubois, I mean, he does some serious leapfrogging up the pecking order. And also, he has the advantage, and I think it is an advantage, that he's kind of an unknown commodity, because if you take someone like Joseph Parker, who has had a fantastic last, 18 months, he's fought AJ before and it was a boring fight. He's friends with Fury, so they're not really going to fight, are they? He's been knocked out by Joe Joyce. And so, there's all sorts of little caveats you can draw upon. If you put Bakole in there, he's kind of, it's sort of, there's more question marks than there are things that we assume we know, you know what I mean? So that would be, I think Bakole versus AJ or Dubois is a fascinating fight. Another one, well, let's mention two more. Big Bang Zang. Very interesting fight, very interesting. Both huge men. Now, Jared Anderson hits hard. He does hit hard. But Zang hits like a truck. And Bakole was getting hit to the body predominantly by Anderson. He did show a very, very good jaw, though, which is what you need to beat Zang. But, of course, we all thought Joe Joyce had a great jaw till it got shattered or cracked or whatever by Zang. Can Bakole take Zang's power? can Zang last the distance against Bakole? Because the one thing Bakole does is put serious pressure on you. Serious pressure. And, of course, we know Zang's gas tank is a little bit lacking. Who would you pick in that fight? I'm not going to make a prediction right now. I'm going to bottle it. But but another option, of course, and I don't like the man. I don't think he should even be allowed to fight, but he is. So we got to talk about him, is Big Baby Miller, who, Jarrell Miller should have got the decision over Ruiz. Did you see Ruiz's hand? Ooh, that is a bad break. That is a bad break. And that the fact that he carried on fighting through that, went the distance and got, he got that draw. I'm almost tempted to say that busted hand earned him the draw. And it's certainly, when you get out of the ring and your own people are booing you, that's a bit unkind. I mean, look at the guy's hand, for Christ's sake. And yet people who are half pissed in the cheap seats booing him. I mean, I'm not into that at all. But getting back to Miller against Bakole. Do you know what? Even I hate Miller, and I've got no sympathy for the fact that he should have had the decision against Ruiz and didn't get it. Fuck you. You've cheated most of your career. Most of your victories, if not nearly all of them, should be slung out the door because you were juiced up. So I ain't got no sympathy for you. But having said all that, do you know the one that I think would be the most fun would be Bakole versus Big Baby Miller. Just because I think Bakole would really put the hurt on Miller. You think Dubois beat him up. On the other hand, Miller, great engine, whatever you think of him. I mean, don't forget, he's got the draw with Ruiz. He's got to pass the test, first of all, the PED test. With him, you never know until the fat lady sings. Fat being the operative word. But, yeah, Jarrell Miller against Martin Bakole, that would be a lot of fun, And to be honest with you, that is the fight I would most like to see. For all the things I've said about Jarrell Miller, I've got to be honest. You put that on a Saudi card, you're going to see a serious bit of action there, But there's no doubt that Bakole, I think he's 31 now. He's listed as 31. He might be old. You never know, do you, with the African fellas? And they're a bit like the Cubans. You're never sure of their exact age, but he's probably as good as he's going to get. And I do like the way he's come back from that. The defeat, because that defeat was a bad one. That was a bad defeat, And I even allowing for the shoulder injury, I mean, his body language and his attitude was not great during that fight. I mean, look, he's got a badly injured shoulder, I get it. But he was looking to quit in that fight. And he kind of, in the end, he was kind of not throwing back, and he was just trying to see out the round. He looked like he was feeling sorry for himself. I think he actually said to his trainer he wanted to quit. Billy Nelson said, no, don't quit. You'll be all right. So it's kind of, I think he's come back well from that defeat. So big up Martin Bakole. He's more or less made a believer out of me now with that Anderson win, because don't forget, he was brought in as the opponent. Anderson was, the big top rank heavyweight, the one who was supposed to sort of smash through the older man, and he didn't do it. He tried to. My God, he tried to. And he showed a lot of bottle. Jared Miller did. Jared Anderson, did. He showed a lot of courage. Anderson can come again, no doubt about it. You can't teach that type of bottle. It's kind of like Ruiz with the busted hand. I don't think you can really teach that sort of attitude. But Bakole versus Jarrell Miller is, of all the fights I would pick, that would be the most fun. Whether it would get him into the position of being able to fight for the world title, which I assume is what he wants, or not, probably not, because Miller is a sort of the bête noire of boxing, isn't he? And he's stopped by Dubois, draw with Ruiz. Bakole smashes him up. It's not going to progress him further up the ladder. Probably the one that would do that would be if he fought the winner of Dubois and AJ. But we'll see. What do you think? Who would you put Bakole in with next? Give me your opinions, and I will answer any comments, or I will read them. I don't get a chance to answer all of them now because it's too many of them, but I'll certainly read them. And thank you, as always, for supporting the channel. Please subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button. Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing, and I will see you later. Bye for now.